you've been looking at Long Island real estate lately, you've probably had this exact thought at some point, and that is, how is anybody affording all of this? And honestly, it's a fair question because Long Island prices have gotten very expensive. A lot of towns that used to feel relatively affordable now have homes selling for numbers that honestly surprise even long time life Long Islanders. But here's the thing, there are still pockets of Long Island where buyers can find relative affordability in 2026, especially if you understand where to look, what trade-offs you're making. Now, obviously, affordable on Long Island is relative. We're not talking about cheap. We're talking about towns where buyers can still potentially find more value compared to some of the ultra competitive Nassau County and Western Suffolk County markets. So in this video, I want to break down 5 Long Island towns that are still relatively affordable in 2026, and more importantly, what the lifestyle is actually like in each one, because affordability means nothing if you hate the area you move to. So the first town I want to talk about is Patchogue, and honestly, Patchogue has changed a lot over the years. This is one of the biggest transformation stories on Long Island, and I think it's one of the most valuable secrets on Long Island. So what makes Patchogue interesting is that you still have relatively more affordable options compared to many other popular Long Island towns, but you also have a real downtown scene. So you've got restaurants, bars, nightlife events. There's a lot of energy there, great food, and a lot of stuff to do. And that's something that younger buyers and former New York City buyers really gravitate towards. So now obviously pricing has gone up significantly because people have noticed this, but compared to many Nassau County areas, Patchogue still gives buyers more value overall. Especially if you want some lifestyle built into where you live. So the second town is Lindenhurst. So Lindenhurst has become increasingly popular because buyers started realizing that Babylon and some surrounding shore towns were getting too expensive. So what people like about Lindenhurst is this South Shore lifestyle. You've got access to beaches, you've got access to boating, culture, and it's kind of more of a laid back area overall, beach kind of area. And compared to some neighboring towns, buyers still can sometimes find relatively better value there. Now, obviously, inventory moves quickly when homes are priced correctly because of affordability on Long Island. Attention gets fast, right? So the third town is East Islip. East Islip tends to fly under the radar a little compared to some more heavily talked about Long Island towns. But honestly, a lot of buyers end up pleasantly surprised by it. You've got a suburban feel, you've got proximity to the water, and generally more breathing room compared to the denser Nassau County areas. And while prices have definitely increased there too, many buyers still feel they're getting significantly more house compared to Western Long Island, especially buyers leaving Queens or Brooklyn. The fourth town that I want to talk about is Bayshore. So Bayshore is interesting because it offers a mix of different lifestyles depending on where you are. You've got areas closer to the water, downtown activity, restaurants, and ferry access to Fire Island. And honestly, for buyers who want some lifestyle and activity without the Nassau County pricing, Bayshore often enters the conversation very quickly. Another thing that attracts buyers is the location. So it's still pretty accessible compared to going much further east into Suffolk. So for commuters, that balance matters a lot. Now, again, prices have absolutely climbed there over the years too, but compared to some surrounding towns, buyers often still see relative value. The fifth town I want to talk about is Farmingville. Now, Farmingville gives buyers something many people are prioritizing heavily right now, which is more space for the money. So this is the type of area where buyers often realize they can potentially afford a larger property compared to Western Nassau or even more expensive Suffolk County towns. And honestly, that's one of the biggest reasons people eventually start looking deeper into Suffolk County overall. At some point, buyers start comparing what their budget gets them in Nassau versus Suffolk, and the difference can be something that's very dramatic. Now, here's something important that I want to mention, which is that whenever people hear affordable, they sometimes assume that that means every home is cheap. And that's definitely not the case on Long Island anymore. Even many traditionally more affordable areas have seen major appreciation over the last several years. So the key is understanding what type of trade-offs you're comfortable making. So because affordability on Long Island usually comes down to some sort of combination of longer commute, smaller house, different location, or moving further east. And honestly, I think that's where a lot of buyers can get very overwhelmed. They're trying to find the perfect town that has the low prices, that has the short commute, that also has the big houses, that has the beach access, that has the walkable downtown, and has low taxes. And honestly, that unicorn just does not exist. Every town is going to come with trade-offs. The key is figuring out which trade-offs matter least to you, because that's how you actually end up happy with your purchase long term. So at the end of the day, there are still affordable opportunities on Long Island in 2026, but buyers need to be more strategic and understand the lifestyle differences between those towns, not just the difference, not just the prices. So because affordability means very little if the town itself doesn't fit your day-to-day life. So if you're thinking about making that move for yourself to Long Island and you want help figuring out which town works best for your budget and your lifestyle, feel free to reach out to me. All of my contact information is down below. I'd be happy to help to point you in the right direction. Thanks for watching the video, and I'll see you later.